Assalamu alaikum students. How are you all? I hope that you all are fine and enjoying good health. I am your English teacher, Ma'am Shumaila. It's the time for an English lecture. So let's start our today's topic. So today our topic of discussion is figures of speech. Today we will discuss 5 figures of speech in detail through examples. We will discuss imagery, personification, simile, metaphor, and alliteration. So you have to listen to this lecture carefully. Let's start it. So today our topic of discussion is figures of speech. You have to listen to this lecture carefully because we will discuss figures of speech in detail with examples, and we will discuss 5 figures of speech in today's lecture. You would be able to give your own examples. When you will listen to this lecture carefully, you would be able to write your own examples of these figures of speech. So listen to this lecture carefully so that you can get to know about figures of speech. Now have a look at what are figures of speech. Authors often use figures of speech in both literature and poetry to enhance their writing. Figures of speech present ordinary things in a new or unusual ways. They communicate ideas that go beyond the word's usual literal meaning. So as you have seen that figures of speech are those things which the writer or the poet uses in his writing to enhance its meaning, to give it a new and fresh look. So figures of speech used in the poetry and in any descriptive writing to enhance it. So let's discuss that what are they and how many figures of speech are there. So let's see the first one. First one is imagery. What is imagery? Imagery is a descriptive writing that appeals to senses: sight, taste, touch, smell, and hearing. When a writer uses imagery, the descriptive writing helps create a picture or image in our mind. So imagery is used to heighten the impact of the poem or any writing, and when the imagery is used in any writing, it can be descriptive, it can be poetry, so it enhances it. The reader makes a picture in his mind. He starts imagining that thing which he reads. So imagery directly concerned to our senses. It appeals our senses. Now look at these examples, students. She sways like a flower. Her hair are as black as coal. She falls like a tear. We are like 2 peas in the pod. Her temper was as explosive as a volcano. So just guess that these are the examples of which thing, which figures of speech it is. Yes, you are right that these are the examples of simile. Here we are comparing one thing with another, and we are using like and as well in these sentences. So you have seen in these examples that we are comparing one thing with another. There is a comparison and we are using like and as here. So these are the examples of simile. Now see the definition of simile, students. Simile is comparing two unlike things using like or as. As we have discussed in examples, that simile is a comparison of one thing with another and we use like and as here. See another example as well. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. So we are comparing one thing with another and we use like and as. These both things are unlike to each other. They are not like things. They are unlike, but we take any one common quality and compare it with another. And we use like and as while comparing one thing with another. So simile is a comparison of one thing with another while using like or as. So let's discuss these examples now. The boy was a fish in the water. He is a shining star. She has a heart of gold. So these are the examples of which thing? Previously we have discussed about simile. So what are they? These are the examples of metaphor because it is again the comparison of one thing with another. As you can see in these examples that we are comparing one thing with another, but we are not using like and as here. You can see in these examples that we have not used like and as. So this is again the comparison of one thing with another without using like and as. What is metaphor? Metaphor is an implied comparison between the two unlike things that actually have something important in common. So metaphor is the comparison of two unlike things. Both the things are unlike to each other, but we take any one common quality and we compare it. So metaphor is the comparison of two unlike things and we do not use like or as in metaphor. While comparing two things, we do not use like or as. So this is the difference between metaphor and simile. In simile, we use like or as, but in metaphor, we do not use like or as. Both are the comparisons of one thing with another. Now see these examples. She springs like a beam on the brow of tide. 6 swans went swimming in the sea. Gaily, oh gaily, we glide and we sing. Now have a look on these examples as well. Sue shook her silver silky hair as the sun was setting. Elizabeth easily eyed an elephant in the elevator. Now you have seen these examples. What did you guess? That these are the examples of which figures of speech? Just imagine, quickly think and guess it. Yes, these are the examples of alliteration. What is alliteration? It is a repetition of consonant sound. As we have seen in these examples, that the consonant sound is repeating. So you can see that consonant sound is repeating in these examples. So this is alliteration, because alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds in the beginning of any word. So what is alliteration? Alliteration is the repetition of beginning consonant sounds such as 6 silly swans went swimming in the sea. As you have seen that the first letter of every word is starting with a consonant sound, with the same sound. So if the same sound is repeating in the start of the words, it means that this is alliteration. As we have seen in the previous examples as well, that the consonant sound is repeating in the beginning of every word. So this is alliteration, because there is repetition of consonant sound. Let's see these examples, students. The car danced across the sky road. The angry clouds marched across the sky. The tulips nodded their heads in the breeze. Now you have seen these examples. These examples are of which figures of speech? What did you guess? These are the examples of personification, because we are using human quality here. So the writer has given human quality to any object. It can be any non-living thing, it can be any animal or any object. As you can see in these examples, that human quality has been given to these objects. The car danced. The angry clouds marched. These are all the human qualities which are given to these objects. So these are the examples of personification. Personification is giving human quality to any object. It is called personification, as you have seen in these examples. So what is personification? It is giving human traits or human qualities to something that is not human, such as animal, objects, or non-living things. So personification is giving human quality to any other object, any non-living thing, or any animal, as we have seen in the examples. Students, I hope that you have understood today's lecture. Today we have discussed figures of speech in detail. 5 figures of speech we have discussed today: imagery, simile, metaphor, alliteration, and personification. We have discussed their examples as well, so that you can get to know about them. Now you would be able to do your home task easily. This is your home task, that you have to write down your own examples of these figures of speech: simile, metaphor, personification. You have to write 3 examples of each of these figures of speech: 3 examples of simile, 3 of metaphor, and 3 of personification. We have discussed all the things in detail, so you can do this task very easily. I hope that you have understood its lecture. Thank you. Okay, students, in our Zoom lesson, we will discuss more examples of these figures of speech which we have done today. So goodbye from my side. Thank you and stay blessed.